What is up, everybody? You're very welcome along to Sunday night's late night agenda. Although it's not so late today, but that's because I'm doing a watch along later on over on Mundo Sporto. I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're having a cracking Easter weekend. You know, whether you celebrate Easter or not, it's very important to get that chocolate into you as much as possible. I hope that you're all still enjoying yesterday's result, because I know I am. I'm absolutely buzzing off the back of that result. Yes, people can say Arsenal didn't play too well, but I really don't give a shit. Liverpool showed up. Liverpool got the job done. Results have gone away this weekend with Chelsea losing, Leicester losing. And I was looking at the fixtures ahead, and you know what? These are some tough fixtures coming up. Our opponents are our contenders for that top four spot. There's some tough fixtures for these guys coming up. So, you know, I'm feeling a bit more bullish, a bit more confident today around Liverpool's chances of getting into a top four spot at the end of the season. We've got to do our side of it, and that's all we can really look after, folks, is game after game, trying to pick up points after points. Villa coming up next weekend, of course, but before that, massive game coming up on Tuesday in Madrid against Real Madrid, the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So, yeah, loads of stuff to go over today. But I want to just get your feelings, your thoughts after you've had a chance to digest yesterday's performance. 2 goals off the bench for Diogo Jota, a good goal from Mohamed Salah, and an amazing cross from Trent as well that just shows Gareth Southgate up for being a bit silly not to include him in, because show me another right back that can produce that cross that Trent Alexander-Arnold put in yesterday, and I'll eat my words, because I don't think that there is one available to Gareth Southgate. But look, this is mostly about us having a chance to have a little chat. It's going to be a shorter stream than usual tonight, because I will be over on Mundo Sporto at 7:15 doing a watch along a United game against Brighton. So if you haven't subscribed to Mundo Sporto yet, I hope you can follow me over there and join me for that. And tomorrow our video for the predictions, my starting 11, my score prediction, that's going to be coming out ahead of the Madrid game as well. So loads of stuff coming up, folks, in Anfield agenda. And if you look into the top left-hand corner of the screen, you can see overnight we've crept up a bit more. We're closing in now on that 85,000 subscriber mark. So if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, please do. I seen we had a couple of Madrid fans in the chat before I went live. Welcome to you guys. I mean, it's going to be a tough 2 games coming up. May the best team win and all that. What else have we got? I love you. That's a good way of starting the stream, Isaac. I like that one, mate. I'm sorry, but you're not winning the Champions League. I'm sorry, but I couldn't give a shiny shit what your opinion is, mate. You or I don't know who's winning the Champions League. And did I once sit here and say we're winning the Champions League? No. So take your opinion, mate. Ram it up your Swiss roll and piss off out of here with your negativity. What have we got? We're coming on Tuesday. That's our Real Madrid supporting friend, I believe. And, mate, look, may the best team win, as I said. 2 of the most storied clubs in European football. Real Madrid, obviously, with 13 Champions League to Liverpool's 6. But, you know, hopefully the Reds can go on and make it 7 this year. I'm a Madrid fan, but good luck to both teams. Right back at you, pal. As again, it is a really mouth-watering tie, isn't it? I mean, 2 of the real heavyweights of European football for that game on Tuesday. Craig, do you think Real Madrid won Liverpool 3 in the first leg? I don't want to give away my score predictions. I'm recording that video later on tonight. That'll be out tomorrow. My predicted starting 11 and my score prediction as well. Love a wee Swiss roll, said Jake. I love a Swiss roll as well, and it gets me around cursing Jake, so it saves me a few swear words that I can keep for later on in the stream without having to get demonetized, if you know what I mean, mate. So I choose my swear words very carefully, Jake, at this time. What have we got? We're coming for you, Madrid, said Mohammed. Look, let's have a little chat around yesterday. Are we all still buzzing off that result? Because first half, there was no doubt we played well. I said it to you guys during the watch along at half time. I was impressed with what I'd seen, but bar that James Milner miss, we didn't really create too much in the way of clear-cut opportunities. But as soon as the O goals came off the bench, it all changed. You could see the impetus, you could see the level of pressing even go up further, because I thought we pressed very well yesterday at times. Jota is just like, he's that player that you don't want to defend against. He's like an absolute Jack Terrier or Pitbull. What am I talking about? Jack Russell, excuse me. Always nipping at your heels, always looking to win the ball off you. And he's everywhere. He's almost unmarkable. And it was a slight switch of formation as well to a 4-2-3-1 after Jota came on yesterday, which I thought worked well for us and created us a lot more opportunities. And, you know, we can talk about the goals, and we will, and enjoy them, because that Jota header was a thing of beauty. But what impressed me most was that for his second goal, Sadio Mane, I don't know if he miscontrolled it or if he was looking to play Jota in. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But either way, the absolute ferocity that Jota walked onto that ball and stuck it into the back of the net past Leno, there was no doubt where that ball was going, folks. Philip Redmond said, loving the new logo, Craig. Thank you, mate. We're really happy with it as well. We're working on a few bits of new merch ideas and that as well. We gave a little sneak preview as we often do to our members yesterday in our Discord group of potential merch that we're looking at, and the feedback was very good, so I'm glad that they liked it. And we are taking our time about it because we want it to be, one, very high quality, and we want it to be something that everybody's happy with. So again, it is a good reason to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC. If you do want to come in and join our Discord group or get the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name, get all the emojis and stuff that our members get, like most other channels, it's $4.99 a month, and there is a link in the description, or you can click on that blue join button if you see it. I know some people don't see it. And also, we can't let the day pass without saying a massive thank you to our sponsors, Boyle Sports, as well. Dylan Briggs, how are you, mate? Unpopular opinion. We should sign that Pereira lad from West Brom. Very underrated player. Will do bits for us as a 10. He's not... I don't think he's underrated, mate. I'm not sure about us signing him, but with his ability, I'm with you. I mean, Pereira is very highly thought of, mate, and certainly should be playing at a higher level than West Brom, Dylan. I would absolutely agree with you on that one, mate. Yeah, so I don't think it's that unpopular an opinion, particularly with regards to the level of the lad, but whether we're in for him or not, I've no idea, buddy. I wouldn't lie to you, but I do agree that he's a good player. Hi, Craig. Love the vids. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Great to have you with us, Taran. And really appreciate that you like the videos, and long may that continue. Kareem said, finally, after almost 2 months, we're back for Champions League nights. These are my favourite. Me too. Some of the best nights we've had here on this channel have been involving Champions League games, so I'm looking forward to that. But I tell you what, call me petty, but I'm also looking forward to a potential bit of redemption against Aston Villa next weekend. I have been haunted by that 7-2 game for the entire season, and I'm hoping for a little bit of redemption for the Reds next week. Excuse me, I just had to mute my mic there while I coughed because I didn't want you guys to have to hear it. Jake McBoss Miel Mucker, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. I see that you've renewed your membership. You'll get to see Jake a bit more on the channel, by the way, because Jake and Jack Gill are working on a show for Anfield Agenda, or will be working on a show aimed at a younger audience. So Jake, 18 years of age, Jack, 21 years of age. So we're trying to give you guys something for the younger viewer as well on Anfield Agenda. So we've got these guys working behind the scenes. So you'll be seeing Jake McBoss a little bit more on Anfield Agenda. Reason being, I was so damn impressed with the podcast I did with Jake that I just had to try and get him on board, because I know talent when I see it, and that young man has a lot of talent, and I want to help guide him through as a fellow Irish YouTuber and content maker. So yeah, there you go. Welcome back, Jake, my man. Varane got a knock in training, said Sakina. Somebody else said in our Discord group, and I'm not sure how true this is or not, by the way, that Eden Hazard might be fit for the game, or could be fit for the game. Which, you know, it doesn't really worry me, and I'm going to explain why. Is Eden Hazard a good player? Of course he is. Of course he is, but he's very inconsistent, and any Madrid fans that might be watching now might be able to back me up on this one. There's one thing that's plagued Eden Hazard his entire career. It's showing up for pre-season overweight and not fit. He's one of these people that when he's on holiday, if you know what I mean. Like he feel like he earns his break, has his break. But these comparisons to Mohamed Salah always make me laugh from Chelsea fanboys. And I'm not talking about Real Madrid Hazard fans. I'm talking mainly about Chelsea Hazard fans who still try and put him in this level above Mohamed Salah. He has had one 20 plus or 30 plus goal scoring and assist season. One. Whereas Mohamed Salah's had 5 already. He hasn't scored the numbers Mohamed Salah has, and that really annoys me. But is Eden Hazard a good player? Yes. In fact, I'd go as far as to say he put in one of the best away performances I've ever seen at Anfield. And Eden Hazard, on his day, is a real handful of a footballer. It's just that those days aren't often enough. Unfortunately, last night as well, you might have heard me say that I was going off to watch Carl Frampton's fight as soon as I finished the stream. Unfortunately, he tasted defeat last night, announced his retirement from boxing. Last night, he was trying to become Northern Ireland's first 3-weight world champion, and unfortunately, he lost through to a technical stoppage, his corner threw in the towel, and I felt so sorry for him, and you know, it is the right time probably for him to step away, spend time with his lovely family as well. But I want to just take a second, because I've always held a special place for Carl Frampton, because I was there when he won his first world title. I've always loved the way the lad boxes, and I've always liked that he's wanted to fight the best in his division. So again, it's a shame that he stepped away from the sport. And also, DMX had a heart attack. I'm not sure if you guys had seen that one. DMX is in hospital after having a heart attack, which is not great news. So hopefully he pulls through as well. DMX, for old school rap fans like myself, is somebody who's held in very, very high esteem indeed. So hopefully he pulls through. Craig, can we do transfer news? There isn't really that much, Gilad, mate. I'd be just kind of I'd be just kind of lying to you. There's not really much new. The Canada stuff we know about. We know that Haaland's representatives are doing the rounds in London, meeting with a few clubs. Other than that, mate, other than maybe the Sunday papers that I haven't had a chance to look at, there's not really anything that I think is new or worth bringing up with regards to it. Craig, can you remind me the score of the Chelsea game? I can't remember. It's funny you asked, Tyler. I think, if my memory's right, Tyler, and I have a sketchy memory, I think it was Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, 2 goals. Sam Allardyce's West Bromwich Albion, 5 goals. Now, my maths mightn't be correct here, but that means that West Bromwich Albion had 3 more goals than Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So, this many to this many, if I'm right, Tyler. And my memory isn't what it used to be. Frampton and McGuigan didn't end well. It didn't. No, but look, that's for other reasons. We don't want to get into negatives. I mean, it's time to celebrate Carl Frampton's great career. And of course, I know what you're talking about with McGuigan, but both of them represented Northern Ireland magnificently and brought both sides together when it comes to fights and stuff like that, and when it comes to watching the guys box. So I'll always be a massive fan of both of them. Craig, out of the Madrid players, which player am I most afraid of? As a Madrid fan, Jota, Salah, Firmino. For me, obviously Benzema you got to worry about, because Benzema is a proper goal scorer machine. So obviously you'd be worrying about Benzema, particularly with our kind of inexperienced centre back pairing of Phillips and Kabak. But also what other Real Madrid players really worry me, if I'm being honest? If if Hazard shows up, I'd be worried. But other than that, probably Vinicius Junior. But one thing, and you're a Madrid fan, mate, so maybe you're a better place to give this than me, but whenever I watch Vinicius Junior, all the talent in the world there, but he kind of has a touch of the Raheem Sterling's about him, in that he misses a lot of opportunities that he gets himself into. I remember watching a Madrid game recently where he could have had possibly goal of the season, only for the finish let him down. So Vinicius Junior and Benzema will probably be the 2 players that I think of first. Craig, have you watched the Copa del Rey final? I didn't watch it, but I know Sociedad won by a 1-0, and congratulations to them. You won a game, calm down, go fuck yourself, I'll do what I want. If you don't want to be here, piss off, no one's making you be here. And yeah, we won a game, who gives a shit? We'll win lots more of them, and we'll continue to win them. And if you don't like it, Rachel, bye. No one's forcing you to be here. You're not coming in and pissing on my cornflakes, Rachel. I'm in far too good of a humour to put up with little fools like yourself today. So basically doing, because I'm happy Liverpool won, and we're continuing to win. And we won a game before that as well, and just in case you forgot, before the international break. And we're about to take on Real Madrid in the Champions League. So I've every damn right to be happy. My family are healthy. My family are safe. The sun is shining. It's Easter Sunday. There's chocolate all over the place. Why wouldn't I be happy? 2-0 to the Reds is what Sakina's saying. I was really happy for Kabak. I thought he put in a very good performance, Ahmed, yesterday. You can see more progression from Ozan Kabak. You can see that he's getting a bit more comfortable, especially playing alongside Nat Phillips. And whether we think they're the best centre-back pairing in the world or not, it is important for me to have that continuity in the back 4. So you've Trent, you've got Robbo, and you've got the 2 lads at centre-back. Now, I thought Robbo, it wasn't his best game yesterday. I think that's fair, and everybody would probably agree with me on that one. But Robbo plays so much football that he's bound to have an off day every now and again. Obviously playing international football as well, and he's played a lot of games this season, Andy Robertson. So it's not unusual for him to have a day off or 2. Do you think Valverde is good? Yes. I mean, look, anyone that plays for Real Madrid, you've got to have something about you. You don't get to play for a Barcelona or a Real Madrid without having something about you. Liking the new AA logo, thank you Redbrand47, really appreciate that, mate. Always happy and welcome for some feedback. There was one of the guys, where is he? His name, Graham Doyle, said to me yesterday in a comment, and look, I always accept feedback on stuff. It's always welcome on Anfield Agenda. But he said to me, Craig, the Ric Flair stuff goes through my head. Now, as much as I'll accept feedback, and I appreciate Graham being honest with me, it ain't going to stop. It's part of me. It's part of who I am. It's synonymous with the channel. And I'm not going to stop the Ric Flair whoos when I'm in a good mood. So I apologise, Graham, my man, if it does do your head in, or anybody else whose head it does in. But it ain't going to stop, because it's part of my personality. And I love a Ric Flair whoo, and I love Ric Flair. So sorry about that, Graham. But I do take your feedback on board, mate. Just in this particular instance, I can't help. I can't change it. Who's been our most consistent player this season? It's got to be Fabinho, surely. I mean, Fabinho or Jota. They're the two. Jota only came in, obviously, first season doing well, but Fabinho or Jota for me is the answer to that one. Yeah, R.I.P. Claude James, the guy who says I love James Redmond. Well, that's not a great look coming into our channel, mate. But either way, the Claude sentiment. Yeah, look, we've talked about Claude a lot, and rightly so. We all loved Claude, and we're all very, very saddened by his passing, mate. But yeah, I feel like you're trying to wind me up with your account name, mate. So yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll do you a favour. No, I'll leave you in. But yeah, that's probably not going to be me reading out more of your comments, mate, with that name. Let's be honest about it. Nothing against Mr. Redmond, by the way. I think he's very good. Odegaard 21 said Real Madrid 2, Liverpool 1 is his prediction. Loving the username, by the way. Odegaard, somebody who I do rate as a footballer. And look, it's difficult to know what way the games will go. I be honest with you, I think Liverpool will progress past Real Madrid over the 2 legs, but I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, Real Madrid are the most historic, the most successful club when it comes to the European Cup. So, you know, there is that aura around Madrid as well, but our boys are up for it, and after losing in Kiev, you know, maybe they'll want to try and put that one right. Thoughts on Trent's performance? I thought he was brilliant, Jake. Absolutely brilliant, and I can't speak highly enough of that cross, and somebody said to me that he was doing that cross in warm-up, practicing it over and over and over again, and it was on a sixpence for Diogo Jota. Now, Diogo Jota still had to be in the right spot, split the defenders and get the power on the header, but, you know, the cross was hit with such accuracy and ferocity that he didn't really have to generate too much power from the header. It was more about just guiding it on target, and Leno did get a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out. Are you streaming Manchester United? Yes, I'm going to finish this stream, mate. I'm going straight over to Mundo Sporto. As you can see, there is a link at the top of the chat there, pinned to the top of the chat. I'll be finishing this and going straight over to the watch-along United's game against Brighton on Mundo Sporto. And then, as I said, tomorrow, don't forget, our predictions and our preview ahead of the Real Madrid game will be coming out tomorrow as well. We're formidable away from home. Yeah, we are. Actually, our form this season, we know, has been a lot better away from home than it has been, but you know, historically over the last few years on the road in the Champions League, particularly during the group stages, we did struggle with away results. But I do get the feeling we've turned the corner. I think moving Fabinho back into midfield and having Thiago get a bit more freedom in there now as well will do a lot. Now, who starts alongside them in midfield against Madrid? Will it be Gini? Will it be Naby? Will it be Curtis Jones? Will it be James Milner again? That remains to be seen. I'll give you my opinion, of course, tomorrow when I make that video. What are my favourite type of vids? I don't know what you mean by comedy. If I'm like, usually I'm looking at clips, like I'll be looking at happy hour clips, or I'll be looking at Joe Rogan and stuff like that. But usually just funny stuff, mate. I like Nico and those type of videos, and Stephen Tries and all these type of things as well. Craig looking dapper in the black Jordan top, my man. Thank you, Yusuf. I have it in a camo version as well. I like the top so much that I bought it in 2 different colours, mate. You know, whenever Nike have a sale on the website, I jump on there and try and pick up as much Jordan stuff as I can, because, you know, I'm a fan of old school Jordan trainers and stuff as well. So yeah, I do like me some Air Jordan stuff. Kay, how are you? Would you mind me making Tyler Brown a mod, please? Could have done to help yesterday. No, we don't need any more mods, Kate, on Anfield Agenda. We've more than enough. In fact, I would say we've got too many on Anfield Agenda. And no, we don't need any more mods at this moment in time. So, you know, I'd have to unfortunately say no on that one, because, you know, we don't need any more. That's the God's honest truth. I know there was a lot of trolling yesterday, but sometimes we'll just have to put up with bits of it. You can only control what we can control, and you know, sometimes, you know, I know the mods do a great job, but a lot of the time we get so many emails and requests saying, why was I banned? Why was I this? Why was I that? That the more mods we add in, the harder it is to track down the reasoning why people were banned. So, and by the way, I've tried to ring John Hamilton twice, and I know Brian tried to ring him as well. It rang out the first time, and it rang and then went to voicemail the second time I tried to ring him. So I did leave John a voicemail, so I hope to hear back from him. Happy Easter to you as well, Levi. Happy Easter. Carvajal will be back, said Odegaard 21. Look, mate, it's going to be an interesting game, and what a glamorous tie it is. As I said, Real Madrid, Liverpool, quarterfinal of the Champions League. It's what the Champions League's all about, isn't it? What else have we got? Hey Craig, how's your Easter weekend been? Well, look, you know me, I only roll out of bed about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, so it's been about 1 cup of coffee and a bottle of water deep so far, mate. That's how it's been. What have we got? Would you take Canade or Kabak if they keep up these performances? Both, mate. I've said this before. I think Phillips will most likely have massively increased his value, and Liverpool will move him on. Because let's be honest, he's doing really well, but he isn't at the level that we need. At the very, very top tier. No, he's stepped up massively, and we all love Phillips for it this season. But for me, I would trigger the release clause, or not the release clause, I would trigger the clause we have if we can't get a better deal from Schalke, which I know Michael Edwards is apparently trying to do. And I would sign Ibrahima Konate as well. And I'd look to move on Joe Matip. That's my personal opinion. So, but we do need probably 5 centre-backs. So maybe even keeping Matip then. You'd have Van Dijk, Gomez, Konate. You'd have Kabak and then Joe Matip. So I'd say we'd need to go in with at least 5 centre-backs to stop a repeat of what may have happened this season. Particularly with Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk coming back from such long, serious injuries. Tyler, by the way, please don't take that as a slight on yourself, mate. It's just that we don't need any more at the minute. And, you know, if you look through the chat there now, you'll see a lot of blue spanners already in there. So it's only on match days that we ever really have a lot of stuff to struggle with. And sometimes stuff will just get through and we'll miss it. But that's okay as well. What are your thoughts on the City-Dortmund match? I think Manchester City will have too much for them. I mean, Dortmund struggling in the league. They lost or they drew. I know they dropped points over the weekend again. As good as they are going forward, I think they are suspect defensively, and I think Manchester City will be way too strong for them. My predictions for the semi-finals of the Champions League: Liverpool, Chelsea, and PSG versus Manchester City. They're my semi-final predictions. Lewandowski out obviously for both legs of that game against PSG. So it'll be interesting. I mean, PSG will want revenge, of course, for the final loss. They did test Manuel Neuer a lot during that final, and I think, you know, they lost as well, by the way, to Lille over the weekend. And I actually laughed when I seen a quote attributed to Poch where he said it's difficult to win the French league, and I'm thinking, mate, with the players that you have at your disposal, there is absolutely no excuse for PSG not to be winning the French league. What have we got? Where's Larry? Something about Larry in here somewhere. Where is he? Where's my old mate Larry Leach? Trying to find your comment, Larry. Where are you, dude? Oh, there he is. I'd love to hear about how you're able to use the live word in your logo without Club coming after you. As Connor said, the club have trademarked a very specific liver bird, and it is well changed enough from that liver bird that we can absolutely use it. They don't have a trademark on every liver bird, Larry. They have a trademark on a specific liver bird, and if you look at the difference between the one we have and the one the club have, it's very well changed. So we shouldn't have any issues over that. But I appreciate you looking out for us anyway, mate. But we've covered ourselves on that. We did look into it before we changed it. Bayern don't need Lewandowski to advance. He's so overrated. Have you ever watched football before? Like, seriously. I'm not even joking now. Have you ever watched football before? Because to come on and say that Lewandowski is overrated is one of the most, if not probably the most ridiculous comment I've ever read out on this channel. I'm not even a Bayern Munich fan. I'm not Polish. I've no attachment to Lewandowski. But to come on and say he's overrated is bullshit of the highest order. The man was robbed of a Ballon d'Or last year. So you're gone. Jesus Christ. Imagine saying Lewandowski's overrated, like. I mean, you got the attention you wanted, Princess. You got the little pat on the head you came in looking for, but my God. Spurs drew as well today, by the way, which helps us. I mean, I didn't see that. I thought that they'd get the victory, but a 2-2 draw for them really does open up that top 4 race, doesn't it? And as I was saying to you guys at the start of the video, I looked through the fixtures for the remainder of the season, and a lot of the clubs in and around the top 6, 7, they're all playing each other a lot. And we apart from Manchester United, who of course we've a more favourable running, I would say, on paper. And look, We know that on paper doesn't mean much in the Premier League, but there's certainly some difficult games coming up for Chelsea, for Leicester, in that run-in. So I think yesterday's result was huge, and I think it does really open up the possibility of Liverpool being able to maybe get in and snatch that fourth spot. So yeah, we've got to keep doing our job, and all we can do is take care of one game at a time, 3 points at a time, and hope that does it for us. But certainly, yesterday's result will do no harm whatsoever. Craig, do you think Liverpool will ever get to the point where they need to sell Bobby because we have Jota now? I wouldn't say we'll get to the point we need to sell him because we have Jota. If anything, it's great to have both because it gives us two really, really high energy individuals who are very intelligent in the way they play the game, who can create space and options for other people, and gives the manager more strings to his bow. So I would look to add to the players that we have, mate, by maybe moving Origi on and bringing in another forward than trying to get rid of Bobby because Jota is doing so well. I mean, I'll admit it hasn't been Bobby's best season. I'll be the first one to put my hands up and say that, but I wouldn't be looking to get rid of him just because we have Diogo. I mean, we want to be adding to what we have and giving the manager more options. Lewandowski has been the best striker for like 2-3 years now. I know, it was a ridiculous comment, mate. I can't believe anybody had the cheek to come in and call him overrated. Like, it's just ridiculous. Craig, who do you think's going to play on Tuesday, Firmino or Jota? I don't want to give away my predicted 11, mate, but let's just say I've gone for Jota in my predicted 11. But I don't want to give away too much after that. But Jota is in my predicted 11. Okay, yeah, there's another one. Mate, you're not going to get the pat on the head you're looking for. You're just going to get booted over a chat, mate. So, Ali, good luck to you, mate. Have a nice day, but you can keep your stupidity to yourself. Right, Jota is a goal machine. He reminds me of Robbie Fowler. Well, very different to Robbie Fowler in some ways, but yeah, he does know where the goal is, that's for sure. We do need a striker, even if we keep Bobby. 100% agree, Mohammed. 100% agree with you, mate. And that's what the club are looking to do. Liverpool are looking to bring in another forward. And, I was reading James Pearce on The Athletic yesterday. He was doing a bit of a Q&A around the Arsenal game. And he feels, I think, the same, that Liverpool will be looking to potentially move Origi on and bring in somebody to take that spot in the squad. Who's your favourite ever player? Can't be a Liverpool player. It's Messi or Maradona, mate. Either one of those. It's one of those two for sure. I go back and forth between the two of them. I mean, who do I think is the greatest of all time? Messi. But I do love Maradona. I did love Maradona, I should say. Excuse me. God rest his soul. Yeah, I mean, either of those two. For me, just a joy to watch play the game. At least we can celebrate a quarter-final in the Champions League. Exactly. Getting to the quarter-final after the season that we've had and the ups and downs and the injuries that we've had, the inconsistencies that we've had. Yeah, you're right. We should be happy. And we are here, and we're only 5 games away from potentially lifting the cup, same as every other team in the quarter-final. So let's just enjoy the process, enjoy the games. Against Real Madrid, you couldn't ask for a more appealing quarter-final with regards to, 2 huge, massive European heavyweights going toe-to-toe in the quarter-finals. Yes, maybe they're both not at their absolute best of their powers in years gone by, but it's still a massively huge tie. And, we have both, everybody on our side of the draw, whether it be Chelsea, Porto, Real Madrid, Liverpool, they'll all think that we're on the favourable side of the draw to get to the final. If you look at PSG, Chelsea, PSG, Man City, Bayern Munich, and Dortmund over the other side, you'd have to say we're on the more favourable side. All 4 clubs will probably admit that. Arsenal fan here, well done your victory last night, thoroughly deserved it, we were awful. Thank you, mate, really appreciate you coming in, and I actually really liked your manager's post-match press conference, mate, and what this will do. So what I would say to you, mate, is firstly, you're a gent, thank you for coming in and saying that, but don't get too downhearted, because I think Arteta knows who he needs rid of. He's going to put his emphasis on faith in youth, I believe, for the rest of the season, and he knows who he can and can't trust. And I think he said the right things yesterday. He came out, he apologised, he took responsibility, but you could see behind those eyes, he knows. He knows who's letting him down, and he knows who's not putting his shift in. And I think you'll see him be ruthless in the summer, mate. Craig, do you mind telling me what Ali said in the chat that pissed you off. No. Why would I say it? The whole point is that I don't give him the publicity, mate. It was about Salah, put it that way. That's all I'll say to you. I think you know where I'm going with it then, don't you? Any goalkeepers that we're linked with? Yes, there's been two. There's been a young keeper at Genk whose name I can't remember. I think he's only about 18 years of age. And of course the old reliable links to Ergakan Kakira Trabzonspor. They've been the only ones that I've seen in recent weeks, mate. But that Kakir link seems to go back 2 years now, and it still hasn't materialised. But it is really interesting, though, because obviously we've got Gianluigi Pitaluga, who we brought in as well. We've got Queeveen Kelleher, Allison. Adrian will move on. His contract's up at the end of the season. So what do you do then? Do you promote maybe Kelleher to number 2, send Pitaluga out on loan? Do you send Kelleher out on loan and bring somebody experienced in for a season or two to back up Allison? It's a difficult decision, but, you know, I suppose that's why Kloppo gets paid the big bucks, isn't it, to make these decisions. If Kane leaves Spurs, where do you think he'll move to? I wouldn't rule out what is it called I'm looking for? A reunion with Pochettino at Paris Saint-Germain. I think maybe Kane may find it difficult, you know, emotionally to go to another Premier League club. I could read that completely wrong. If they lose Mbappe this summer, you know, they will have some money to spend and maybe they could fund a move for Harry Kane. Other than that, I've always had this vision in my head of Kane eventually ending up at United. I don't know, I've said this to you guys a few times, I don't know why, but I've always just had this vision of him ending up at Man United at some point in his career. What have we got? Craig, can you answer Brendan? Who's Brendan? I don't know. Is it the question about top 4? If so, I've answered it 3 times during the stream already. And yes, I absolutely believe we've a very good chance after yesterday, Brendan, my man, of getting top 4. Particularly the way the results went over the weekend. And as I said, looking ahead to the other clubs that are in and around that top 4 race, the fixtures that they have for the rest of the season, there's a lot of them playing each other, so there will be a lot of points dropped. Now, I'm by no means arrogant enough to sit here and think that we're going to win our remaining games in the Premier League, that, like, you know, we've got it all sewn up, those 8 wins will be granted. But I think if we can take 20 points from the 24 available, well, we couldn't do that really, could we? Well, 2 draws maybe, yeah. If we could take 20 points from the 24 available, I'd say we'll get a Champions League place. I don't think we can afford to drop any more than that, really. Craig, quick question, Modric or Thiago? Thiago. Because Modric, you know, Modric, by the way, one of my favourite all-time footballers. Absolute quality, but right at the tail end of his career, if you ask me. So that's why I just nudged Thiago, but I have the height of respect for Luka Modric and his ability. He is a quality footballer. Casemiro or Fabinho? 100% Fabinho. Benzema or Jota? I can't decide. They're both in phenomenal form. They both know where the goal is. Jota's style obviously suits us a lot better, but I won't disrespect Karim Benzema. Somebody that's in Zinedine Zidane knows he can always rely on to find the back of the net. But on the other ones, as I said, Thiago over Modric because of the age thing for Modric and because I feel he's getting to the tail end of his career. But my God, have I enjoyed watching Luka Modric play football. I mean, right through from Spurs all the way through to Real Madrid, to the run with Croatia, to him rightly winning the Ballon d'Or. In my opinion, I thought he was sensational. But they are my honest opinions, mate. Sorry, I want to scroll back up. A couple more things before I head over. And don't forget, I'll be jumping straight over to... I'll be jumping straight up. Connor's distracting me with saying, did anyone try hunt me today? No, mate, nobody did try and hunt me today. I've been in hiding under the duvet most of the day, though. I'll be jumping over in the next 5 or 10 minutes over to Mundo Sporto, our sister channel, to do a watch-along of Manchester United's game against Brighton, folks. So I hope you can join me over there for that one as well. Favourite Liverpool moment ever? I know I've said this before, but it's got to be the 4-0 comeback. I mean, Istanbul was amazing. Gary McAllister's free kick against Everton where he nicked a few yards, scored late, got us a European spot. That was amazing. So many amazing memories over the years. Gerrard's goal against Olympiacos. But that Barcelona comeback for me will always stand out because of no Firmino, no Salah, Robbo getting injured, coming up against the greatest player of our generation, 2 former Liverpool players at Barcelona in Luis Suarez and Felipe Coutinho. And nobody had really given us a sniff and yet we pulled it off magnificently, and it was it's something that will live with me forever. And I'm glad that everyone would have loved to be at the game, but I was so glad that I was here on the channel with people able to enjoy that moment. Rabadan, how are you, my man? Thank you for the super chat. Said, hope Steve Bruce take the boys to Nando's tonight. Yeah, really delighted for them getting a point off Spurs, which or making Spurs drop 2 points, I should say, which will help us indeed. Modric is 100% a Real legend. Absolutely agree. Luka Modric is one hell of a footballer. I'll never say anything different. Do you think Chelsea will go into a bad run of form? Look, I'm not going to... They lost the game yesterday and I took the piss a little bit. But, since Thomas Tuchel has come in there, they've looked like a different beast altogether. So, it could have been a blip yesterday. I don't know. It's not for me to say. But it did help us. It did, close the gap to 2 points on the top four. And I hope it will dent their players' confidence, because obviously I want them to drop more points. But, they do have a very good squad there. And I know Pulisic is out now with a hamstring injury again. And look, it remains to see what Chelsea do between now and the end of the season. But all Liverpool can do is look after our own games, try and pick up the points, and see where we end up. Jared O'Connor said, Chelsea fan here, I think Liverpool can win all the games bar Man United a draw maybe. Yeah, I kind of had ourselves, that's when I said 20 points out of the 24. Jared, mate, I kind of thought 2 draws maybe in there somewhere along the way. 6 wins, 2 draws. That's kind of where my head was at. But yeah, I kind of agree with you there, mate. Obviously, I want us to beat United, and they'll want to beat us as well. But I don't think we'll be catching United at this point. I think it's really Chelsea that we have to try and zoom in on. And don't forget Everton as well. They're playing tomorrow. They're playing Palace. They've got games in hand as well, so that'll push them above us if they win that. So, yeah, it's really going to be an exciting run in for the end of the season. Do I live in Ireland? Yes, I absolutely do, mate. I live in Wexford in Ireland. You're recovering from, I don't want to say the word, Sakina, if you don't mind, because I don't want to, get in trouble with YouTube, because you can only get away with saying the word so many times. But I hope your recovery goes well, and lots of love from all of us at the channel. Favourite Ireland moment ever? Has to be Paki Bonner's save from Timofte against Romania in Italia 90, mate. That was a defining moment for our country. Yeah, I know David O'Leary went and scored the winner and all, but it was that save. The Timofte versus Bonner. I'll never forget George Hamilton's commentary on it. Like, that has to be my favourite ever Ireland moment. Of course, you can look at fucking Ray Houghton scoring against both Italy and England and beating them as well in the Giant Stadium in USA 94. That was huge as well. Paul McGrath was like a one-man wall in that game for Ireland, but it's got to be that Bonner save against Romania in Italia 90, mate. That was amazing. Class channel, keep up the good work from Ireland. Been here since 29k. Thank you, Michael. Really, really appreciate that, dude. Really do. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run straight over now to Mundo Sporto for a watch along of the United game against Brighton. There is a link to Mundo Sporto at the top of the chat there. Connor's pinned it in. So don't forget, if you haven't hit the subscribe button here on Anfield Agenda yet, please do. Drop a like on the video as well before you head off. I'll be back tomorrow. We've got loads of content. We're recording the Anfield Agenda podcast tomorrow. That'll be out on Wednesday as normal. The preview will be out for the Real Madrid game. Loads of other stuff as well. Late night agenda tomorrow night. Jack will be on doing a watch along of the Wolves West Ham game as well on Mundo Sporto. So lots of content coming up on both channels. Thank you again to our sponsors, Boyle Sports. Thank you to you guys for watching. Have a lovely Easter Sunday. Lots of love from my